Yankees fans, welcome to Fireside Yankees, where passion meets the numbers and gut feelings go head-to-head with cold, hard stats. We break down every move, every at-bat, and every front office decision with the same intensity you bring to the Bronx. Love it, hate it, feel it in your soul. We're right there with you. If you ride with us, do us a favor, drop a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. Helps more diehard fans like yourselves find the show. Now let's get into it. The second spring training game of the Yankee Grapefruit League was today against the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, most of the starters, in fact, pretty much every starter did not play today, aside from pitcher Carlos Rodon, who got the start. And we saw some interesting alignments in the batting order, with Ben Rice leading off, getting an opportunity to showcase what he can do. We'll talk about the kind of overall performances from this one in the 6-4 loss to Toronto. Now, they're taking most of these guys slow. You're seeing Austin Wells. He's not really playing much. He's just getting into hitting in spring training practice, let alone in live action games. He did hit a home run in practice, I think, over this week. And then, of course, Judge is not going to be playing in games probably until after this upcoming week. But, seeing guys like Ben Rice get involved, Oswaldo Cabrera getting involved at third base. He's in a position battle with Peraza and DJ LeMahieu. I just don't think DJ LeMahieu is going to be much of a piece. I don't think he's going to be playing much over the next couple of days. They'll probably get him involved, but he's quite behind offensively, timing up pitches and whatnot. He looks like he's behind, seeing some of the live at-bats he's had. Guys like George Lombard Jr., former first-round pick last year, getting in some action at shortstop. Everson Pereira had a hit and a run today. Spencer Jones, a big name we're going to talk about in this episode. And, of course, Carlos Rodon, who is quite behind in his ramp up right now. But, this is what we saw last year from Rodon in spring training. He was quite iffy, spotty, whatever synonym you want to use for basically inconsistent and a little bit volatile in his performance. Now, there's some rumors going out. Of course, you guys might have heard the Houston Astros and St. Louis Cardinals have rekindled their interest in potentially swapping Nolan Arenado to Houston. And I believe that the Cardinals were willing to part ways with about $15 to $20 million, kicking into that deal, which would have brought Arenado's contract down to about 3 years, $45-50 million. Maybe they're willing to give up even more now. So the Yankees don't necessarily seem like they want to spend any more money. I don't think they're still involved for Arenado unless the price is going to be dirt cheap. They don't want 3 years of a 33-year-old declining piece, league average offensive player at this point, and he doesn't play well in Yankee Stadium, but obviously has great defense. Thing is, the Yankees have 3 internal options defensively that are above average. So I think that's kind of where you look at the situation and say, we already have a couple of defense-first guys. We need a guy that's a big bat. And that's kind of where Cashman's being patient, waiting for the opportunity to bubble to the surface. But Ben Rice today, heading back to the spring training game, had 2 strikeouts on 3 at-bats. Now, again, these guys are just getting kind of going, getting involved, and not surprised to see some of them are struggling. Ben Rice noticeably bigger, put on some muscle mass this offseason. So, I do think he's going to have a bit more power to his game if he can make better contact more consistently. This is a guy who was really good, like every single level in the minor league system. Last year in AAA, he played 30 games, hit .294 with a .428 OBP, 174 WRC plus with 12 homers and 33 RBIs. He was lighting up AAA. He gets it. Like he eventually gets it. He just needs a little bit of time to kind of get hot and see the pitching, get used to things, and then it kind of all clicks for him. So 50 games last year in the majors, he started out red hot, ended up hitting 171 with a 264 OBP and a 73 WRC plus, so he was quite below average, 27% to be exact. And I do think, this is a player that needs a bit more time, needs a bit more reps, some experience, and he'll get there. Just give him some time. This is a young guy who's dominated offensively at every single level. 26 years old. I think he's going to put it together at some point this season. I really do. Just got to make sure he gets the at-bats in action to actually get there. Oswaldo Cabrera did not get on base over 3 at-bats, some weak contact, a ground out to first base, couple stuff here and there. Nothing to write home about. That's Oswaldo's game. He's a contact guy. He's not going to hit for power. He's really hoping he can punch it into the outfield, hit the gaps. He's an average athlete. He's a good defensive player in that regard, but offensively, there's a lot left to be desired because of his lack of power. So he's a better lefty than he is a righty. I think there's definitely going to be some problems offensively if we lean on him as a primary piece in the infield. They do need an upgrade. Just a matter of who, when, how much is the questions that are going to arise and bubble to the surface. However, looking at the big slugger today, Spencer Jones, 2-run home run in the 6th inning to put the Yankees on the board. Jones made some really good contact today, guys. He had a foul ball that was absolutely rocked. His swing fundamentals are much different. He looks like he's batting like the lefty Aaron Judge. The mechanics almost look identical. The problem is, he's just not there yet. Like, his pitch recognition, he's still getting there. His mechanics, you watch him hit, they look a little funky. It looks like he's a little bit off balance. Like, it doesn't totally, like, it's not a smooth, mechanical, like, robotic nature. Like, it looks like he's still kind of getting there. Like, he needs more time, needs more at-bats with this new fundamental change to get where he needs to be. But that home run was very pretty because it was a breaking ball, dipped right over the middle of the plate, and he timed that thing up and slapped it to left field, hit an opposite field home run. That's what we want to see from Spencer Jones. We want to see that opposite field power. He's got elite raw power. Like, it just hasn't translated to regular games at a lot of times. So now he's elevating the ball. The fundamentals should help him do that, keeping his base a lot more steady, his head a lot more steady, his legs a lot more incorporated, not much of a leg kick. He doesn't need to generate power by condensing his swing, like to bunching up. Like, you watch Soto, like, and how he gets so low and so, like, kind of shrinks the strike zone. That's not going to be Spencer Jones' game. It's going to be more like a Judge, where he has a big strike zone, and anything in that strike zone, he hits the ball freaking hard. That's going to be what it's like. Soto's like a freaking hunter. You watch him hit. I mean, first at bat today for the Mets, hit a freaking home run. I would have preferred to be in the universe where Soto was a Yankee, but it is what it is. We have a pretty good team, and I think we're going to get better, especially if we add another piece. But Spencer Jones, really encouraging from him. Obviously, he probably starts in Double-A, but I think he gets to Triple-A pretty quickly. Once he gets to Triple-A, it's just a matter of catching on. Like, once he's good in Triple-A, he'll make that jump to the majors at some point. He has a bit of a roadblock right now because obviously you have Jason Dominguez in left, you got Bellinger at center, and Judge in right. So there's nowhere for Spencer Jones to really play unless he's your fourth option, or somebody gets hurt, or you leverage him via trade. So there's a couple different avenues the Yankees could explore on how to maximize Spencer Jones at this point in time. But it's a very good start for him. Really excited to see that power continue to translate, hopefully bleed over into the minor league season. Had a tremendous spring training last year and then got really cold once he started his minor league kind of campaign. So that wasn't exactly what we wanted to see from him, but we think he's going to bounce back just fine. As for the pitching, Carlos Rodon, 2.2 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs. Bouncy game for him, using the changeups more against right-handed batters in this one, which should be something he does lean on a little bit more frequently this upcoming year. So, definitely not the best performance from him, but pitchers are behind. This is just the way it is. Pitchers are going to be behind early in spring training, and Rodon, like, he's got to dial up the velocity. He's got to get the slider go. This is when he tests different pitches, different mixes, trying to see what works, what doesn't work, his location, his velocity, his RPMs. There's a lot of different elements that go into figuring out what the next step is here in his ramp up. So I do think that'll be interesting to watch him kind of closely and how he continues to develop over the course of this offseason. But tomorrow we have the Detroit Tigers for the Yankees, so we'll see who is in the lineup tomorrow and whatnot. But definitely not many storylines from this game today. A lot of guys just getting some action in. Like I mentioned, Lombard Jr., he's young, so I do think it's interesting to see how that's developing. Andrew Velasquez, Squid, getting a couple innings, couple at bats to see what he could do. So there's a lot of interesting things. There is one player though, Ismael Mungia, and I don't know how to say his name correctly, but he's a former San Francisco Giant, Nicaraguan native, 26 years old, 5'7", 158 pounds, small guy, but made some pretty impressive left field moves there. Made some really nice plays in left field, had 2 hits and an RBI in this game. So that's a guy to keep an eye on. He looked pretty solid, so I'm definitely interested to see how he continues to shape out here. As for the bullpen, not much really to talk about there. They all didn't look altogether that great, except for Yuendrys Gomez, who did toss a scoreless frame. But guys, any other storylines you want us to discuss in the next episode, please feel free to drop it in the comments section. Just a quick little analysis, quick little update from today's game. Hope you guys enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.
Perfect.